spike protein possibly could be oncogenic itself, meaning it could be promoting cancers by the fact that it could be damaging to the genetic information in general as well, and it could potentially be promoting environment that is in favor to cancer. So let's break that down as well as to what specifically were they referring to. So number one I'll mention is that what is spike protein known to interact with? And of course, we all know primarily that spike protein interacts with ACE2 receptor because this is how it helps SARS-CoV-2 virus enter our cells, right? But since the COVID pandemic, we learned that spike protein can interact with many other additional proteins. I covered that in one of my past videos before as well. And here are additional ones that I'll mention. Apparently, according to this review, and I haven't studied this before, so this is all also new information for me as well. And apparently, another possibility is that spike protein can interact with that protein NRP1 I mentioned earlier, the one that is involved in angiogenesis. By the way, that protein I mentioned is involved in forming new three-dimensional paths for cells. That can also be done for when neuronal cell axons, these tentacles of neuronal cells, NRP is involved in their three-dimensional spread as well in our brain. So that's another good example. So supposedly spike protein can interact with that protein. So what are the biological consequences of that? Does it help to promote that angiogenesis events? We don't know. We just need to start investigating this. Apparently, spike protein can also interact with those integrins molecules as well that I mentioned that are involved in helping cancer cells spread as well. It also interacts with toll-like receptors. Those are the molecules that respond to foreign elements in our body and what triggers inflammation. I did a video on that topic a while back as well when that was first discovered as well. So the take-home message here is that potentially spike protein could be possibly oncogenic in itself. Now, this is all theoretical. We don't really know the exact details of this because these interactions are observed on, say, cellular level or in a petri dish in a lab, but what happens biologically inside human body is another story, right? So please keep that in mind. But we now have these clues that might suggest that there are other events happening besides what we thought originally, which was just spike protein helps the virus enter the cells and that's it. Now, another element is that early on in the pandemic, there were some reports that potentially spike protein could be interfering with DNA repair or it could be contributing to DNA damage. So I did some videos related to how potentially spike protein might possibly be getting inside nucleus. Another interaction is that spike protein might be interacting with this molecule called P53, which is a tumor suppressor protein. So to what degree this could be dysregulating that system and the proper function of that protein and making sure that cancer cells are maintained in check. So you see this. So that those are elements that could potentially or possibly help spike protein promote cancer cells. Another issue with the spike protein, of course, is this longevity. So the authors touch upon that. Recently, I did another video about spike protein and longevity based on an article, scientific article, where I was one of the co-authors. So that one is still a bit of a mystery. How long does the spike protein truly last? And we don't really have a very good evidence that it does persist for a long time, but there are hints of that. And one of the contributing factors to that could be because spike protein in vaccines have the specific mutations that make it more stable. And that potentially could contribute to its ability to last for longer periods of time. And then, and of course, that would mean that spike protein has the opportunity to enact its negative biological consequences for longer, including, for example, microclot formations, irrespective of whatever it might be doing with promoting cancer development, which again at the moment is only hypothetical. And the last thing is that, of course, that the vaccines themselves now we know were contaminated with bacterial plasmid DNA that was fragmented, and that in itself, in theory, could be oncogenic because it could help mutate the DNA. It could potentially run the risk of being integrated. All right, we're doing a retake because my battery died, but maybe that's a good thing because now I'm with the stable's owner and we get to see the beautiful, unique horses up close. And they are a specific breed from Czech Republic, I believe. Hello, little guy. So as I was talking about, I was mentioning that that spike protein can have its own issues as well. And one of the things I mentioned that it can interact with other proteins. There's a genetic contamination that can take place as well. And one more thing that I should mention is this SV40 promoter that has been found in the bacterial contamination as well, and that can also have its negative impacts as well. And that is the fact that it can help genetic information get inside the nucleus easier. And you think I have candy, don't you? And, and it could also affect if it integrates how genes are being expressed in a given location. I don't have candies, you guys, but candy's over there. Come. So that is everything around the spike protein. So the basic message here is that we're talking about the both spike protein as well as the immune system dysregulation could be driving the cancer development post vaccines or an infection as well. And with the immune system dysregulation, there you go. They finally figured out who's got the real candy. And the immune system dysregulation. First, you have this inflammation taking place, and inflammation, when found, when this takes place and a great enough effect, it can lead to immune suppression, and that will reduce the surveillance of the microenvironment around cancer, and this could help to grow cancers that people might already have had. They might have been maintained in check, but because of the dysregulation of the immune system, including because of the presence of spike protein, you could end up having issues and develop these unusual, aggressive cancers. Now, all of this is, as I previously mentioned, hypothetical, so we cannot fully know to what degree this is truly happening biologically. There is no causality established. I mentioned that in the previous video as well. And the authors clearly state that we need further work and further exercises in order to know this information in detail, and they clearly state that this is very important, that we should know that information.